Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Reading Workshop. Okay, so every Monday we're going to have Reading Workshop and we're going to practice a different strategy, okay? Well, per week we're going to practice a different strategy. So today we're going to work on actions, outcomes, and response, okay? So if you have series books at home, that would be a great choice for today's lesson. But even if you don't, because I don't have series books at home, I'm going to show you how to use this strategy with just about any book that you might have at home, okay? So this strategy, we're going to have two ideas in our minds as I'm reading to you. So how does one character affect the other? And you're just going to simply name the character's actions, okay? Because this strategy is when we understand that the actions of one character can have effects on the other characters. We're going to consider the character's actions and the outcome. Think, how do the other characters respond? Think again. What can we learn from their response? So today's lesson is going to be about Clifford fairy tales, and it's going to be the Three Little Pigs and the Big Red Dog. So, boys and girls, like I said, you can use just about any book that you have in your house, okay? So, I'm just going to read a few pages, and in Reading Workshop, we only read about 3 pages, and then we stop and do some work in our reading notebooks. So, if you have your reader a notebook or just a piece of paper, I only had a piece of paper, but if you have a notebook, you can keep all your notes in there and then bring it in to the classroom when we return. But you can just keep all your notes on a regular piece of paper like I am. Okay, so we're going to get started, and I'm going to read about 3 or 4 pages, and then I'm going to show you the work that I did with this strategy. Okay, so enjoy the pictures as I read. Hello, I'm Emily Elizabeth, and this is Clifford, my big red dog. Every night we cuddle up with my dad, and my dad tells us a story. My dad loves making Clifford and me the stars of the story. Tonight, we're reading The Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. Okay. Once upon a time, Clifford and his best friend, Emily Elizabeth, moved to a new village. They were excited to meet their neighbors and the 3 little pigs. They had even baked a pie for each pig. Just as they were about to leave, Clifford let out a horrible sneeze. Ah, 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 chew! Clifford sneezed, rattled the whole house. Clifford, Emily Elizabeth cried, you're sick. You should stay home and rest. But Clifford wouldn't stay. He wanted to meet his new neighbors. Okay, so right there, boys and girls, we're going to stop. Just like I said, you read 3 to 4 pages. That's it. You never have to read the whole book to do one of these strategies in Reading Workshop. Okay, so as we get back to the book, I'm going to think, who was my first character? I'm going to say that it was Clifford. And character 1 is Clifford. And then what was his action? Action means what did he do? And what he did was he let out a big sneeze. Okay? And then I think to myself, what were other characters I met in the story? And then I'm thinking, and oh, of course, Emily Elizabeth, his buddy. Okay, so when he sneezed, what was Emily Elizabeth's response to him? She cried out, called his name, and said, Clifford, you're sick. You should stay home. So in the chart, you're going to simply fill out how I did. Okay, you're going to write character 1, and my character 1 was Clifford. I wrote what he did. He sneezed. Character 2 is Emily Elizabeth, and his response was, she cried out and said, Clifford, you're sick, okay? And you should stay home today. So that's what you're going to do, boys and girls. Once again, I'm going to repeat. You read any book that you might have at home that has characters in it, okay? So fiction books would work best for this strategy, okay? Then you're going to read about 3 or 4 pages, and just as long as 2 characters were introduced in the story. And then you're going to write down your chart, okay? Again, you write 1 character and what they did. and then you write down the second character and how did they respond to the first character's actions, okay? And then once you fill out your chart, and it could look just like this, then you're going to write lessons. Now, I would come up with at least about 2 different ideas, okay? Because we can always learn a lot of different things from one little short story, okay? But the lesson that I thought of was good friends give good advice. For example, Emily Elizabeth told Clifford to stay home because she cared about him. Friends care about each other, okay? And she was thinking about, not about having fun, she was thinking about how he felt and that it's wise to stay home if you're sick, okay? And another lesson, which is similar, is that your health is very important and that you really need to take care of yourself. So just in a simple 3 or 4 pages that I read to you, I got 2 lessons quickly, okay? So, but you don't have to do it quickly. You can sit there and think for a little while, what did these characters teach me? The one character 1 did something, character 2 responded to it, but what did I learn from it, okay? So you're going to really think, how does this character affect the other one, okay? How does character 1 affect character 2? And then if you're even stuck still, just write a list of all the things character 1 did, okay? Like maybe, like for instance, Clifford sneezed, but if you were reading a book and there was a little boy, just tell me, maybe he ran to his friend's house, or he went to a store, or he jumped off the sidewalk, okay? Just write a list. If you are feeling stuck, write a list of just actions. Actions, boys and girls, are movement. What did they do? What did they actually do? Okay, what did the character actually do as you were reading? And you can use context clues, which are the pictures in the story, to give you even more ideas, okay? So if you're stuck, I just would like you to write down the actions, okay? That would be step 1. But if you're comfortable with writing character 1 and the action, then of course you can move on to character 2 and write what you think was the response. How did character 2, how did character 1 affect character 2, okay? And then the lesson portion might take you more time to think of, which is totally fine. And if you can only think of 1 right now, that's fine. You'll get better as we practice, okay? So we are going to practice this strategy today and in the next lesson of the week, okay? And then we'll move on to a new strategy, boys and girls. But for this week, we're just going to work on actions, outcomes, and responses so you get comfortable with reading workshop again, okay? And don't forget that you have to read, you're reading 3 to 4 pages, that's all, in any book that you may have. And then you're going to write down notes. You're going to write down what characters were introduced and what were their actions and how character 2 responded to character 1's actions, okay? But once again, this could be in a notebook or it could just be on any paper that you might have. It could be big paper, little paper, whatever you have in your house is fine. We're going to be very laid back in this process. And then just keep them all in the same spot. So when we get back to school, you have all your notes on all the books that you read, okay? Now, this is reading workshop. Later today, you still have to read 20 minutes of a book, okay? But it could be the same book, but this is reading workshop, and then that is your reading time, okay? It's 2 different times of the day. So you're going to read about 3 to 4 pages now and do the character 1 action, character 2 response, and lesson learned from the characters, okay? And then later on in the day, you're going to pick up a good book. It could be the same book or a different book, but you're going to spend 20 minutes reading, okay, boys and girls? Okay, so enjoy your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow for math class. Okay, bye-bye.